Our future healthcare vision includes the inauguration of the 50-bedded Namchi District Hospital, coinciding with Sikkim's Golden Jubilee to reduce patient load on STM Hospital. We are plan to introduce kidney transplant facilities, expand dialysis services statewide, and continue enhancing super specialty department at STM Hospital. Honorable Speaker, sir, finally, the upcoming State Medical College at Sochagang Siche with an annual intake of 100 students is slated to be operational by 2026, ensuring long-term strengthening of our healthcare infrastructure. Our commitment has been internationally recognized with the Sub-National Certificate Bronze Medal and the Best Performing State Award in the TB Index category for state below 50 lakh populations, received consecutively for the 3 years. Together, this initiative and achievement demonstrate our unwavering commitment to enhancing healthcare services, ensuring accessible, affordable, and high-quality medical care for every citizen of Sikkim. Honorable Speaker, sir, Sikkim has marked significant milestone in its commitment to environmental conservation and sustainability with several innovative and impactful initiatives. On World Wetland Day, 2nd February 2025, Sikkim proudly celebrated the recognition of its dedicated conservation effort as the Holy Khichiburi Lake was officially designated as a Ramsar site, becoming Sikkim's first wetland of international importance. The Ramsar Convention and an international treaty established in 1971 under the auspices of UNESCO recognizes wetlands that significantly contribute to ecological health and biodiversity. Khichiburi Lake's new status places among globally recognized ecosystem vital for biodiversity conservation, ecological balance, and community sustenance. This international acknowledgement promises enhanced conservation effort, improved management practices, and increased ecotourism opportunities, bringing economic benefit to local communities while safeguarding environmental integrity. Our government flagship initiative, Meru Rug Meru Santati, a visionary project, received the Distinguished Scores Award 2024. Known for its rigorous, independent, outcome-based assessment, SCORES recognized the initiative as an innovative policy fostering Himalayan harmony and promoting a carbon-neutral future. Meru Rug Meru Santati uniquely strengthening emotional bonds between communities and nature, underscoring the importance of living a cleaner, greener planet for future generations. The initiative mandates the planting of 108 trees to celebrate the birth of each child, cultivating lasting connections between parents, children, and nature. Launched in 2023, the initiative has gained extensive national and international acclaim with 4,945 registrations completed to date. Complementing this effort, in 2024, our government launched the Sikkim Sishu Samriddhi Yojana, providing a fixed deposit of rupees 10,800 for children whose parents successfully plant 108 trees under Meru Rug Meru Santati. Enhancing public engagement in wildlife conservation, Sikkim introduced the My Child from the Wild program, allowing individuals or groups to adopt animals in partnership with park management. This initiative encourages conservation through sponsorship, raising public awareness about wildlife conservation issues, enhancing animal care facilities, and providing benefits such as free park entry and participation in exclusive zoo activities. To further enrich Sikkim green governance practices, the Meru Bato Meru Board initiative was launched, a collaborative beautification effort between the Forest and Roads Department. With active participation from road workers, these initiatives aim to transform road sites into vibrant green corridor. Over the past 5 years, our government has implemented several citizen-centric measures, including issuing online marking order, streamlining registration for Meru Rug Meru Santati, and adopting a comprehensive citizen charter to enhance service delivery. Collectively, these groundbreaking initiatives underline our proactive approach toward achieving environmental sustainability, biodiversity conservation, and ecological harmony, laying a robust foundation of future generation. Honorable Speaker, sir, Sikkim, settled in the heart of the Eastern Himalaya, is home to 200 to 30 glacier lakes, many of which are expanding due to the rapid glacier retreat driven by accelerated climate change. 40 of these lakes have been classified as high risk by the NDMA, posing serious threat to our people, infrastructure and livelihoods. Our government remains fully committed to addressing these critical challenges through scientific research, technological innovations and community-based resilience strategies. The South Lonak disaster of October 2023 was a stark reminder of the fragile nature of a mountain ecosystem and the urgent necessity for proactive intervention. In order to prevent any such eventualities in future and to address the threat of glacier lake outburst flood, a high-level steering committee and a multidisciplinary task force has been constituted. The Gulf risk mitigation involved multidisciplinary collaboration, bringing together glaciologists, remote sensing experts, ecologists, geographers, geologists, structural engineers, hydropower specialists, and disaster management professionals. To effectively address these challenges, our government has adopted a comprehensive whole-of-government approach, uniting departments such as science and technology, land revenue, disaster management, mines and geology, and forest for thorough hazard assessment of high-risk glacier lakes. The Department of Science and Technology has been designated as the nodal agency, and we have strengthened this department by deploying skilled engineers tasked with developing robust structure mitigation proposal. Numerous field studies including bathymetric surveys, electrical resistivity, tomography, hydrology studies, slope stability assessment, and topographical survey have been conducted. Based on this scientific finding, targeted mitigation plans are being developed to reduce risks posed by identified high-risk lakes and watersheds. Honorable Speaker, sir, our vision is clear: to transform Sikkim into a national model for glacial hazard resilience through scientific collaboration, sound policies, and unwavering political commitment. We are dedicated to safeguarding our environment, communities, and future generation. Honorable Speaker, sir, it is a matter of great pride for me to highlight that Sikkim has made remarkable strides in development from 2019 to 2024, achieving an 85% increase in GDP, reaching rupees 52,555 crores, and a 64% rise in per capita income to rupees 7,07,181. Budgetary expenditure has more than double, and capital investment has surged by 269%, reflecting our commitment to strategic growth, financial management, and effective resource utilization. Recognized as the fourth best state in poverty alleviation, with only 2.6% of the population below the poverty line, Sikkim has also excelled in sustainable development. As seen in the latest Niti Aayog assessment, Sikkim has made notable progress in reducing inequalities, ensuring clean water and sanitation, environmental sustainability, and industrial growth, boosting the highest infrastructure sector value addition in the country at 35.7%. To sustain and accelerate this progress, our government has established the Institute for Transforming Sikkim, a dedicated policy think tank that will provide data-driven recommendation for governance, planning, and economic growth. The ITS will strengthen collaboration with Niti Aayog, oversee policy reforms, and guide Sikkim's development towards Vikasit Bharat 2047. The institute will be headed by the Chief Minister as chairman, supported by a vice chairman and 7 members, with administration administrative assistance provided by the Planning and Development Department. The ITS will focus on identifying key growth sector, ensuring effective planning, monitoring, development, implementation of center-sponsor, externally added and state earmark scheme, as well as accelerating progress towards the sustainable development goals by 2030. It will enhance evidence-based decision-making, ensure optimal resource utilization, and establish consensus development committee in all assembly consensus for grassroots planning and development. Additionally, ITS will act as a knowledge hub, training youth and professionals in policy making, planning and implementation. With this institution in place, Sikkim is poised to become a model for sustainable development, economic resilience and innovation, ensuring inclusive and transformative growth for years to come. Honorable Speaker, sir, in the judgment dated 13 January 2023, passed by the Honorable Supreme Court in writ petition civil number 59 of 2013, Association of Old Settlers of Sikkim versus Union of India and another, along with writ petition civil number 1283 of 2021, Rabdin Lepcha and others versus Union of India and another, Honorable Supreme Court in paragraph 10A made certain remarks perceived adverse towards the Sikkimese Nepali community. However, our government promptly filed a review petition before the Honorable Supreme Court seeking correction of the said remark. After hearing the submissions of the government of Sikkim and the government of India, the Honorable Supreme Court via its order dated 8 February 2023 was pleased to make the necessary correction and deleted the portion containing the adverse remarks against the Sikkimese Nepali community. It is worth mentioning here that after the Honorable Supreme Court judgment of January 13, our government promptly approached the Ministry of Home Affairs seeking its support in the matter. As a result of our effort, we secured the ministry's backing. Consequently, the government of India also filed a review petition on the same issue before the Supreme Court. In the meanwhile, our government also passed a resolution in the State Assembly regarding the deletion of the observation made by the Honorable Supreme Court. Honorable Speaker, sir, our government is deeply committed to ensure a durable and final solution to some of the pending issues that has touched the aspiration of the people of Sikkim. The scheduled tribe status in the Constitution of India for the 12 left-out communities of Sikkim is one of them. One of the key reasons which has been raised by the concerned authorities in the government of India has been the inadequacy of scientific and clinching justification by these communities to be accorded the ST status. Besides passing a unanimous resolution in the State Legislative Assembly, we have made purposeful representation to the Honorable Prime Minister, the Union Home Minister and the Union Tribal Minister in collaboration with the representative from all 12 communities in order to provide more concrete and substantive inputs. Our government has constituted a high-level committee under the chairmanship of Professor B.V. Sharma, Director, Anthropological Survey of India, Ministry of Culture, Government of India, to prepare ethnographic report of all the 12 communities. This committee has some of the best-known expert professionals and experienced officials drawn from various institutions of India and from within Sikkim also, and is doing rigorous exercise along with the representative of all the 12 communities to prepare comprehensive report for the consideration of the government of India. My office and the Department of Social Welfare are closely monitoring this very crucial exercise. I am certain that the committee will submit a final report very soon. Honorable Speaker, sir, the issue of the providing seat reservation for the Limbu and Tamang communities in the State Legislative Assembly of Sikkim has been consistently raised by our government since the formation of the government in 2019. Although the Limbu and Tamang communities were notified as scheduled tribes in the year 2003, seat reservation for these two communities in the Sikkim Legislative Assembly are yet to be implemented. Article 371F, subclass F of the Constitution provides that Parliament may, for the purpose of protecting the rights and interests of the different sections of the population of Sikkim, make provisions regarding the number of seats in the Sikkim Legislative Assembly of the state of Sikkim. In keeping with this constitutional mandate, our government has been dynamically pursuing the matter with the central government. I have submitted several memorandums to the Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji and the Union Minister of Home Affairs Shri Amit Shah ji and Union Ministry of Tribal Affairs Shri Joel Oram ji, and I have repeated this demand during every official interaction with them. Our government has also made numerous representations to the Government of India seeking an early resolution of this long-standing demand. I have personally met with the Honorable Prime Minister to emphasize the urgency and importance of securing reserved seat for the Limbu and Tamang communities in the Sikkim Legislative Assembly. Honorable Speaker, sir, our government is also actively engaging with the Government of India to secure the return of His Holiness the 17th Karmapa Ugen Thile Doji, the Supreme Head of the Karmama Kachu sect, one of the four sects of the Nalanda traditions of Vajrayana Buddhism. The goal is to bring His Holiness back to India and subsequently to Sikkim. In support of this, we are constructing a special monastery at Phodong, North Sikkim, to serve as His Holiness residence. We are also working relentlessly with the Government of India to facilitate His Holiness' esteemed visit to Sikkim. The people of Sikkim, along with devotees worldwide, are eagerly waiting the opportunity to have an audience with and receive the physical darshan of His Holiness. We look forward to His early visit to Sikkim, fulfilling the deep desires of our people. Honorable Speaker, sir, and I now present the fiscal position of our state, highlighting our economic growth, revenue performance, and prudent fiscal management. It is encouraging to note that the Sikkim is growing at a faster rate than the national average, with our per capita GSDP growth ranking among the highest in the country. The manufacturing sector, dominated by the pharmaceutical industry, contributes over rupees 15,000 crores to the GSDP, making it one of the most profitable sector in the state. However, taxation is destination-based. Revenue potential is restricted to medicines consumed. From a livelihood perspective, tourism-related sector play a crucial role in Sikkim's economy, making it to prefer travel destination. Sikkim is often accused of having an excess workforce in public administration. However, as a sensitive border state sharing international border with China, Bhutan, and Nepal, maintaining local peace is of paramount importance, making additional workforce in public administration a necessary risk aversion. Less than 15% of the workforce is employed in public administration, which, given the topography and sparse population of Sikkim, is not excessive. Honorable Speaker, sir, budgetary expenditure is estimated to excess rupees 16,000 crores in current financial year 2025-26 compared to rupees 6,940 crores in 2018-19. Notably, capital expenditure also expected to rise from rupees 720.61 crores in 2019-20 to over rupees 5,000 crores in 2025-26. This achievement is the result of enhanced state-owned revenue, prudent financial management, and the successful mobilization of funds through external aided project, the Ministry of Donor and the Ministry of Finance, Government of India. Our ability to leverage additional funding through timely project completion has further strengthened capital investment. Sikkim has significantly benefited from the scheme for special assistance to state for capital investment. Over the past 5 years, Sikkim has received rupees 3,683 crores under this scheme, rupees 200 crores in 2020-21, rupees 300 crores in 2021-22, rupees 551 crores in 2022-23, rupees 798 crores in 2023-24, and this year rupees 1,834 crores in 2024-25. These long-term special assistance funds were secured after our government achieved various reforms prescribed in the guidelines of the union government, including urban reforms, land-related reforms in rural and urban areas, implementation of SNA SPOS, and enhancing capital expenditure by over 10% compared to previous financial year. The major priority capital project funded under the special assistance scheme are detailed below, including those that have been completed, are nearly completion, or have recently been initiated. Number 1, construction of 1,000 bedded hospital, multi-specialty hospital, Socheng phase 1 and 2. Number 2, new secretariat at Tansiling Block A and Block B. Number 3, ropeway at Bhalidunga Yangyang. Number 4, passenger ropeway from Peling to Shangacholing. Number 5, Bhaichung Stadium Namchi. Number 6, Wellness Park Gangtok. Number 7, modernization and strengthening of the power transmission and distribution network in Sikkim. Number 8, conceptualization, design, drawing and construction of 500 bedded district hospital at Namchi. Number 9, construction of Yangthang Degree College phase 2 Gezing. Number 10, government medical college Sochagang Siche. Number 11, Tarundip Rai Achari complex at Khichidumra, South Sikkim. Number 12, Swarna Jayanti Maitreya Manjari Gangtok. Number 13, housing for police personnel at Tadung. Number 14, establishment of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose Center of Excellence at Chakong. Number 15, Kanchenjunga State University at Tarku. Number 16, mini secretariat at Lumse. Number 17, ecotourism pilgrimage complex at Dodok. Number 18, border experience at Nathula. Number 19, Isai walk at Bhalidunga Yangyang. And number 20 is district administrative centers, Soring and Parking, etc. Honorable Speaker, sir, I will now summarize the key sector of our government in terms of budget allocation. A significant portion of the budget, about 13%, is allocated to the education sector, underscoring the government's committed to enhancing education infrastructure and creating opportunities for quality education. Several initiatives like yoga for mental health for school children, the Chief Minister Model School at Assam Lingje, education tour for school and college students, and exposure trip for awarded teachers are some of the notable schemes being implemented. In addition, a scheme to encourage meritorious student, the Chief Minister Education Scheme was introduced in last year budget and will continue in the current year. Allocation is also made for the repair, facelifting and boundary fencing of the various schools. A provision has been kept for providing a 30-seater bus to Gurukul School Barmek under the Gelzing Barmek constituency. The Land Revenue Department receives 9% of the budget, with a notable focus on flash flood mitigation activities to safeguard the affected areas from further natural disaster and to rebuild public infrastructure damage due to the flash flood flash floods of October 2023. A provision has been kept for the land compensation for the rehabilitation of flood affected people at Naga Mangan district. Rural development is allocated 8%, aiming to improve the quality of life in rural areas and promote sustainable development through improved rural connectivity, water supply and sanitation, rural road, etc. Provision have been kept for the Shravan Kumar Award for appreciating the best son and daughter in each GPU. Mahila Kisan Sashaktikarana Yojana, Sikkim Ama Sahayog Yojana, the award for cleanest GPU. Dedicated water supply to Mangalbare block from Sable source at Upper Resikola, Sribadam under Soring district. Construction of various Gram Prasasan Kendras and construction of BDO office at Kopche Namche Singitang under Namche district. The health sector receives 6%, ensuring better healthcare facilities and services for the populace. The state healthcare institution aim to build and invaluable record, making Sikkim the prime destination for medical tourism in Northeast India. Our government is focused on further expanding the enhancing the quality of healthcare infrastructure. Sufficient funds have been provided for new hospital equipment upgradation, especially wards, maintenance of SNF hospital, medicine and consumable, and the implementation scheme like Mukhyamantri Swasthya Subhidha Yojana and the Chief Minister Medical Assistant scheme. Provision has also been made for the installation of a positive pressure kidney transplant ICU at SNM Hospital. Sochegang CCTV X-ray machine, boundary fencing of the hospital premises, purchase of the computers and printers, and management software development. A new PSSC will be constructed at Malli, which will an allocation of rupees 10 crores has been provided. The power sector and the road infrastructure each received 4%, highlighting the importance of the reliable electricity and well-maintained roads for overall development. Upgradation of various roads for tourist destinations will be taken up, namely the Indra Bypass Road, Rumtegre, Ranka Siche Road, including face surfacing, carpeting, drainage, and protective works. Naya Bazar Lakeshore Road, SS 19 from Gum Khola to Akar Bridge in Jorthang, construction of a steel composite bridge 80-meter span over Gum Khola. A new road from Upper Mangzing to Bandle, Yangyang, a tunnel from Chirbiri to Jorthang in Namchi district, and the road from Chumbung to Zumpatak via Khutidara under Sore district, along with other priority roads. Tourism, a vital sector for economic growth, is allocated 3%, aiming to develop tourism destination and attract more visitors. Considerable investment is proposed, among other projects, for the conversion of Singshore Bridge into a glass skywalk in West Sikkim, support facilities for the rope to Bhalidunga in South Sikkim, Dodok Ecotourism Pilgrimage Complex, Harbour Medicine and Spiritual Healing Tourism Complex at Nandugao, development of Rabindranath Tagore Park and Cultural Center at Megidara, Rinchebung, Asta Chiranjeevi Dham at Nagi, Namthang, construction of Tara Devi statue with tourism amenities at Silnon Monastery Complex, Upper Chongrang, Yoksam Tasiding Constituency, construction of Ecotourism Heritage Center at Hipatal under Gazing district, and the organizers of the Chojo Lake Tourist Festival at Rabangla. Social welfare and women and child development receive 5% with specific provision for AMA scheme designated to uplift women and children through various initiatives such as the Social Security Pension, including the Chief Minister Disability Pension and the construction of a working women's hostel at Tadung. Our government is making relentless effort to promote sports in the state, sustainable investment in the state-of-the-art sports infrastructure such as the Tarundi Brai Acharya Academy, Rishidang Khelgaon, playground in the rural areas, Jaslal Boxing Academy at Khamdong, integrated culture and sports facilities, rural sports facilities at Jorthang, alternative playground at Jorthang and Bumtar under Namchi district, and the development of a cricket academy and construction of a cricket ground at Amba under Pakyong district is being made by our government to foster a thriving culture of nurturing talented athletes and to position our state as a formidable force under national sporting arena. Under the Forest Department, our government has introduced the Sishu Samriddhi Yojana, a pioneering scheme aimed at fostering environmental stewardship and supporting families, and under the initiative is newborn child will be eligible for financial assistance of rupees 10,800 provided that the family plants 108 trees. The scheme reflects a dual focus on environmental sustainability and social welfare. By linking financial aid to the tree plantation, our government encourages families to actively participate in environmental conservation effort, promoting a greener and healthier future. By fostering a culture of environmental consciousness and providing tangible tangible support to the families. The Shishu Samriddhi Yojana aims to create a sustainable and prosperous future for the upcoming generation. Honorable Speaker, sir, with your permission, I present the budget for the financial year 2025-26 before this August House. This budget reflects our government's continued commitment to fiscal prudence, sustainable development, and the welfare of our people. It is designed to strengthen our economy, foster inclusive growth, and ensure that the benefit of the development reach every citizen of Sikkim. For the financial year 2025-26, we have made a gross expenditure provision of rupees 16,647 crore. After accounting for recoveries amounting to rupees 451 crore, the net outgo stand at rupees 16,196 crore. Receipt overviews. To meet this expenditure, we have ensured a prudent mix of our own revenue generation, devolution from the center, and borrowing. The key source of receipt are: number one, tax revenue, rupees 2,076 crores. Non-tax revenue, 1,007 crores. Center's share of center taxes, rupees 5,519 crores. Grant in aid from center government, rupees 2,600 crores. Gross borrowing, rupees 2,651 crores. Recoveries of loan and advances, rupees 1 crores. Financial assistance under the scheme for special assistance to state for capital investment, rupees 1,037 crores. Assistance to state for flash flood mitigation, rupees 600 crores. EAP grant, rupees 593 crores. Net public account, rupees 112 crores. Total receipt, rupees 16,196 crore. This brings our total receipt to rupees 16,196 crore, ensuring that our financial resources are effectively utilized for the state development. Expenditure profile, the allocation